Perhaps the least belligerent response to have come out of Moscow today has come from the lips of none other than Vladimir Putin, the Russian president. He has been reported as saying that he hopes that common sense will prevail at a time when his Ministry of Defense is denying that there was any kind of a chemical weapons attack carried out by Syria, that is the Syrian regime, but rather it was a piece of theatre constructed allegedly by the White Helmets, the famous civil defense volunteers who have so spectacularly been rescuing huge numbers of people from the Russian and Syrian airstrikes across the country. The Russian Ministry of Defense saying that the videos that emerged of some 40 plus people apparently or allegedly gassed were nothing more than pieces of performance involving actors. But the Foreign Ministry has responded to Donald Trump's tweet saying that smart weapons should be used to attack terrorists, not to attack the regime, the government, the legitimate government, as the Russians believe the Damascus regime is, that it is, in the Russian words, fighting terrorism itself. But against all of this background, really the most belligerent line has come from the Russian ambassador in Lebanon, who has reiterated the point of view from the Russian Ministry of Defense, which is that any missiles fired into Syria will be shot down by Russian equipment, but also he suggested that any missiles would be shot down and the source of those missiles would be attacked. Now, in a sense, that would amount to something close to an act of war, and this has really got to a very high level of stakes, perhaps unprecedented really in the relationship between the United States and Russia over the last 40 years. Probably not since the Cuban Missile Crisis have the two countries been so openly threatening to one another, and all over the murder allegedly of a group of people cowering in a building allegedly by chemical weapons. Now the Syrians have invited international experts to go and inspect that site, but in all probability they won't be able to get there before, if Donald Trump is to be believed, there hasn't been some kind of military action taken by the United States and or her allies. Sam Kiley, CNN, Moscow.